Hello everybody, welcome back. This is Mystic Games, coming at you with a Cardpocalypse video. This should be the final video for Cardpocalypse. I plan on doing a review of the game, as what this video is. So I hope you guys enjoy it. It'll be set up in a similar format to every type of review that I do. If you guys enjoy this or you're interested in more information about the game, I have plenty of other videos including basics, and then I go into the factions if you're, interested in specific cards and what they do. So there's always that. Anyways, let's jump into the review. We're going to start with gameplay. I think Cardpocalypse and its gameplay, both the story and the actual card game, are both very solid. They do a food system, which is like your mana. It's kind of similar to Hearthstone, where you gain more every turn, and if you don't use it up, it essentially goes to waste. So you want to be able to use your mana or food to the best of your ability. The other point of gameplay is going around the school. So you travel around as your character, you look around the school, and you explore, and I think that's very fun. You get the little, comedic points from other characters in the game. All fun and good stuff. Gameplay, solid. Overall, pretty solid gameplay. Game length is very good. For game length, I would say... How long did it take me to beat the game? I would say anywhere from 4 to 6 hours to beat the game for most players. It has a good amount of length. It has a good amount of replayability. There is a DLC, and which is called Out of Time, which you guys can see on the bottom screen. And there is a Gauntlet mode, which is essentially a free play mode where you just play the card game. You don't go through story mode. So if you look at everything all combined, I would say for the story mode, you have 4 to 6 hours, as I said before. Out of Time, I would say, is probably 3 to 4, maybe 2 to 4 hours, depending on your knowledge of the game. And then Gauntlet mode is obviously just free play, and I would say each Gauntlet's gonna run you anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour, hour and a half. So yeah, it has a lot of game length, and I'm actually going to put replay value into game length for this one, simply because it makes sense to. Most games don't. I don't normally do game length with replay value because I consider them kind of separate, but in this one I don't, because it is a story-driven game, very much so, and Gauntlet is almost like an afterthought in my opinion. I think the story, both the expansion, I just want everyone to know this, I thoroughly enjoyed. It's hard to even explain how much time. I think I've synced almost 90 hours into this game. I actually made myself a guide, which I do kind of want to post on Steam. But it has so much replay value. It has so many different cards, and there's so many different options you can pick during the story that change up what cards you're going to gain access to. And I literally replayed it and made a walkthrough to get the cards for, essentially, so I could get every card for each faction in each playthrough, so I could make the best deck I possibly could. So replay value is super high in this game. This is a game that I could come back to right now and I could replay the DLC, because I only played through that once, and I would probably enjoy it. That being said, the sound of this game is amazing. When you load this game up, we're going to jump into sound. They have this song that plays, and it's just super nostalgic. If you're anywhere in your 30s to your 40s, just listen to the song when you load the game up. It's just hilarious, and it's funny to me. It's really good. It gets me excited to play. The dialogue, everything with it is just very good. Anyways, we're gonna go away from sound a little bit. The sound is really good in this game. So for graphics, the graphics are simple, but they are very good. Each of the cards has a name, and the drawing goes very well with the name of the card. I think they have, oh my god, Python. It's essentially a python made of poo. And it's just stuff like that. So it's just funny, and it's very good. Like this game is surprisingly, I was surprisingly pleased with this game more than I thought I would be. Immersion is pretty good. It's very fantastical. The story, and arguably the first time I played, I was immersed in the game, but there was elements that were so fantastical that it did kind of take me out of it. I kind of wish they had not went the way they did with it, but you know, obviously I'm not the creator of the game, and the game in the story was extremely good. It's just I like a sprinkle of fantastical elements in my games, and generally not just going really hard fantasy, and I felt like this kind of did go that way. But again, that's a personal critique. I think the story is still very good. I think you will enjoy the story, and you will be immersed in it the first time you play. I think the DLC actually did a better job immersing me, to be honest, but I did only play that one once. Anyways, this is going to be I'm trying to get quicker at these reviews, so they're not super long. I don't want to go over like 15 minutes. I'm going to rank this game by each game mode first, then we're going to rank it by type, and then I'm going to rank it overall. So, the game modes are Story Mode, Out of Time DLC Story Mode, and then Gauntlet, and that's the order I'm looking at them in. So we're going to start with the story. As I said, I really enjoyed the story. I think if you take like all the aspects of the game that I've just briefly went over, story mode is good. This game is worth the money that you pay. It's going to go, you know, it's an older game. If you get it on sale, it's going to be even more worth it. Just buy it all up. It's worth buying it. You're probably going to like it if you enjoy card games. This is a card game at the end of the day. That's the main point of this game. Yes, there's RPG kind of elements where you roll around and you talk to people, but overall, everything leads to a card game. It's good. So, the story mode itself, I would give probably... I did play it 4 times. I'm going to give it a 9. Most of the time I give games like that I review pretty high because I do enjoy them. That's why I play them so much. Do I want to give this a 9 for the story mode? We'll give it an 8. Actually, you know what? We'll give it a 7. I think I think this is a solid 7 story mode game. I'm really jumping around there. The DLC, I would actually probably give like a 7.5. I actually did enjoy the DLC more than I enjoyed the main campaign. And then Gauntlet mode, I'm going to give like a 6, maybe a 5. You know what? We'll give Gauntlet a 5. I'm actually, out of everything in this game, I think I really enjoyed both the story and the DLC more than I enjoyed Gauntlet. I think story mode and the DLC story mode, the only thing that I really didn't like was the card collection. Kind of the way they set it up, but it made sense for the story. It made sense as a kid that grew up in the age of Pokemon cards personally to understand why they did what they did, and I know they took a lot of inspiration from that. Gauntlet mode, in my opinion, if I had done a Gauntlet mode, I would have not really done that. I would have did like a roguelike. You gain points and you can unlock champions, you can unlock cards, and you'll have like a better start each time. They didn't really go that route, and I think that is actually a weakness in this game. I think it almost feels like Gauntlet mode was an afterthought, and they added it just to give this game more replayability. But because of that, it is a weak mode, and I don't think it would have taken a lot to actually make a very strong Gauntlet mode. Maybe I will do one more video talking about how I would have done Gauntlet if I were them, but I don't think that's super necessary at this point. By game type, which is, it's a card game overall, so we're going to go with that, right? So I'm looking at, like, I played Hearthstone, I've played Magic, I've played Yu-Gi-Oh! Surprisingly, I never played Pokemon yet, I did collect it. I'm trying to think of other cards. Gwent. I've played Gwent, which is the Witcher card game. How would I rate the game overall as a card game? We're going to give it a 6. As a card game, we're going to give it a 6. Again, I think there's redeeming qualities of this game, and I definitely stress that you should try, especially if you like card games. But it's very reminiscent to Hearthstone, and Hearthstone definitely came out before this game did, so they probably took a little bit of inspiration from that. But I think it's very solid, and I think the other things, I'm not going to get into this because this is a review of the game, but there are things in the story mode and even in Gauntlet mode and that can like edit your cards and kind of change what they do before you even go into your next battle. And I think those things add a fun layer to customizability and to make really cool decks, and I would recommend that you guys check out my faction videos if you want to actually know more of what I'm talking about, because normally at the end I will show you my final deck that I used for said faction, and you'll understand more what I'm getting at there. My overall rating for this game is going to be like probably an 8. I think this is a pretty strong game overall, and I definitely think people should check it out. If I look at this compared to, actually, this is an overall rating. It's not an 8 because I'm trying to. My God, I played way too many games in my lifetime. You know what? No, I'm gonna give it an 8. I think an 8's fair. I don't think it's one of the greatest games that I've ever played, but I think it's good enough that I will probably come back, and I probably will replay this eventually. So I think that's actually a fair score to give it. I'm going to give this a solid 8. So, anyways, that's going to be the end of my Cardpocalypse review video. Anyone who would love to drop a comment down below, I would love to hear what your thoughts are on this video. And any other thoughts you might have. My viewer count and my subscribers have actually been pretty solid for the time being, and I'm pretty happy with that. I would love to see communication in these videos, and I would love to see people's thoughts. And if anyone has recommendations ever for any games that they might want to see me play, be dropping them in the comments. I do try to look at what you guys say. I really do. Alright, everybody have a good one, and I hope you have a better day. Later.